It's that time of year again.
And what time of year is that?
The time of year hundreds of thousands of RVers start planning their trip to Quartzsite, Arizona.
That's right. And in this video, we're going to tell you everything you need to know about making that trip.
From navigating the LTVAs, otherwise known as long-term visitor areas, how much it costs to stay in them, what to expect once you arrive and start exploring, and our thoughts on the little desert town and whether or not we'll visit again.
But first, we got to play our intro.
Okay, we've got a lot to go over, so let's jump right into it. If you've never been to Quartzsite, Arizona before, or you just don't know a lot about it, Quartzsite, Arizona is a very popular destination for RVers. It's located at the junction of I-10 and US 95, which is approximately 125 miles west of Phoenix.
The town enjoys mild weather and plenty of sunshine during the winter months, but also has a lot of open land that RVers can camp on for either dirt cheap or completely free. That alone is enough to get RVers out there, but combine that with the perfect environment for off-road enthusiasts, one of the largest annual RV shows, a gem and mineral show, and some of the most killer sunsets you'll ever see. It's no wonder why so many RVers flock to this destination.
Okay, so now that you know a few reasons why so many RVers make their way to Q-Town every year, let's talk about how to navigate the BLM once you get there. And this is whether you plan on staying for just a few days or a few months.
In 1983, the Bureau of Land Management, BLM, established a La Posa Long-Term Visitors Area, LTVAs, to accommodate the growing population of boondockers in Quartzsite.
The LTVAs are split into 4 sections: north, south, west, and Tyson Wash. They have gravel pads for parking RVs. Most campsites have rock fire pits, and there are dumpsters and pit toilets in the areas as well. We stayed at the Tyson Wash LTVA when we visited last year.
The LTVAs are located just outside the Quartzsite city limits. The fee for staying in an LTVA from September 15th to April 15th depends on the type of permit you purchase. The long-term permit, which is $180, is valid for the entire season or any portion of it. The short-term permit, which is $40, is valid for 14 consecutive days during that season.
Long and short-term permits can be purchased online at recreation.gov or in person at the field offices located at the entrance of the LTVAs. Permit stickers with expiration dates are provided after payment and check-in, and they must be displayed on the tow vehicle and RV. These permit stickers are, by the way, will give you unlimited access to the dump stations.
So let's just break it down. You can stay in one of the LTVAs for up to 6 months with unlimited access to the dump stations for $180, which is $30 a month. Or you can stay for up to 14 days for $40, which is what we did when we stayed in Tyson Wash for a month. Like we said, dirt cheap.
But you can still camp outside of the LTVAs for completely free if you choose to, and then just pay to use the dump stations out in town when you need them.
And finally, we haven't forgotten about the RVers who might not want to boondock at all. Just like any other popular RV destination, there are plenty of RV parks within the city limits. But keep in mind that you'll need to reserve these sites well in advance, and you might also run into a few RV parks that won't rent you a site for less than 1 or 2 months.
Okay, moving on to amenities.
Now that you know where to stay and how much it costs, you probably want to know what kind of amenities are in the actual town of Quartzsite, and especially if you plan on staying longer than a week. So, what can you expect to find?
Not much. Okay, so that's not to say there's nothing out there, because there is. But you just have to keep in mind that Quartzsite, Arizona is a small desert town. So when all the RVers aren't there gathering once a year, the population is like 3. Okay, so that's another over-exaggeration, but you get the point.
Let's go over what is there. As far as a grocery store goes, you've got 2 to choose from: Roadrunner Market and Coyote Fresh Foods. Both of them have limited selection of canned and dry goods, produce, dairy, and meat. But of the 2, Roadrunner offers more in our opinion. But if this isn't enough for you, within 30 miles of Quartzsite is a Walmart and a Safeway located in Parker, Arizona, and an Albertson in Blythe, California.
Also, if you're in Quartzsite for any length of time, chances are you're going to have to do a load of laundry or two. There are two laundromats in the town, Main Street and Palm Plaza. We used Main Street while we were there, and we thought it was clean. It has plenty of washers and dryers, an ATM, a change machine, and you can even take a shower there too. I used the showers there several times because even though we had unlimited access to the dump and fill stations, the more often we filled our tanks, the more often we'd have to hook up the Airstream and drive to the station to dump them. So just to keep things as convenient as possible, I took a shower at the Main Street Laundry several times, but at $9 a pop, they're not cheap.
So what about sending and receiving packages? Quartzsite has a post office, and they do accept general delivery mail that can be picked up Monday through Friday between 12 and 1 p.m. All mail is held for 15 days, and an ID is required to pick up. Additional mail service such as copying, faxing, and package shipping is also available at Quiet Times, which is also located in Quartzsite.
And as far as RV maintenance and parts are concerned, you probably couldn't be in a better place if you find yourself in need of either. The town is definitely set up to accommodate RVers. And if we didn't mention propane, there's a fill station in town as well.
And last on the list, before we get to our thoughts on Q-Town, restaurants.
Okay, and just to keep it fair here, while there aren't many restaurants in town, we want to preface this part with the fact that we only ate at a couple places, but we did hear of a few others that were really good. So we carried out a pizza from Silly Al's, and we thought it was decent. It was good. The place seemed to always be packed while we were there, regardless of the time of day, so that's a good sign, and we can see why. We also dined at Taco Mio, and while we don't remember what our main dish was, we do remember it was really good also, and we also remember we really liked their guacamole.
Okay, let's get into our thoughts and opinions on this place. And we're keeping it real. We don't love it. The town itself isn't pretty. It's a desert town on the transient side, looks a little run down, and there's not a lot to do. There's just nothing scenic about it at all. So it's not like we would ever make a trip just so that we could visit the town, because we definitely wouldn't.
Yeah, and I would agree wholeheartedly with that. Having said that, however, the town itself is not why we visited last winter, and it's not why we'll probably visit again this winter either. When you're boondocking in Quartzsite, you're not actually boondocking in the town. I suppose that there are some people who do, but the mass majority of RVers are in the vast desert land that surrounds the town and stretches way beyond it, which in and of itself isn't that exciting either. I mean, it's the desert, but what you're doing is you're taking part in an annual event that is really quite impressive. And while you're there, you can work on improving those boondocking skills. You can check out the massive RV show, meet some awesome people, and enjoy great weather and killer sunsets, all while camping for either dirt cheap or completely free. It's really not a bad place to hang out for at least a portion of some of those colder months. And don't forget, Phoenix is only about 130 miles away. Even closer than that is Lake Havasu, which is about 60 miles, and Kofa National Wildlife Refuge, which is just up the street. Both, by the way, we definitely recommend checking out. They're worth it. So while we're not huge fans of the town itself, we definitely appreciate the event and look forward to meeting up with some friends we made last year, and then of course some new ones this year.
We did write a couple of blog posts on Quartzsite, and you can find those at our website, thetincantravelers.com. And on that note, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give this video a like, push that notification button, and subscribe to our channel. It's a great way to show support for what we're doing. And until next time, we'll catch you down the road.
Bye. Thanks for watching.
Take care now.